It was good, everybody. I wanted to do a quick reading. I didn't realize today was the new moon, but it was funny because this morning, a song that popped in my head that just kept popping in was this song that I had done called Hurt People," right? So either that's for you or, um, maybe you're dealing with someone, right? And the funny thing is that that song it's talking about being cautious, right? Um, So I would just say, hopefully that's not you, right? Hopefully that's not you uh wanting to hurt people because it always comes back. Trust me, you don't want to be that person that, you forget about it 10 years down the line, you're getting all this karma and you're like, what did I do? But that song was written from, people, I've met, right? So even in that song, I'm talking about a person that's like giving people diseases on purpose, right? So it's like maybe if there's someone trying to return to you an ex or something, I would say be careful. Don't ever be ashamed to ask somebody like, hey, let me see some paperwork or something, or I'll go with you to get tested before we, do the deed or stuff like that. Cause there's people that really are that cold, right? Hurt people. And that's the whole moral of I know this is kind of intense for starting the thing, but hey, today is called the Black Moon, which not necessarily like, oh, it's a dark energy, but it is like in a way, right? What's hidden, right? Because the new moon, if you think about it, and the fact that this one's called the Black Moon, maybe that's why this message is being channeled, right? Because something that's trying to be concealed or something. So I would just say that for some reason that song popped in my head, and then even that one, I see the dark moon rising. I don't know. Like I'll have to put the lyrics up for my song. I'll do it. I'll put a link to that song actually. The Hurt People, Hurt People. I always wanted to re-record it because when I recorded it, I think I was trying to mix it in headphones, and then when I heard it, like after I invested in some little mixing speakers and stuff, but it's called Hurt People, Hurt People. So if that's you, I get it. Like if you're a hurt person, me, I usually when someone hurts me, I take it and then I transmute that energy, right? So that will be, often I'm not gonna talk about my advice because I'll let the cards speak, right? Whatever your ancestors, you know, God, anyone wants to tell you, the spirit world, let them tell you, right? But my advice is, learn to transmute energies, right? I know some hurts are obviously bigger than others, right? So I'm not gonna, it is what it is, right? But that's kind of the thing. It is a beautiful thing when you learn to transmute energy, right? So, uh yeah. So look up that song. Let me see. Dark Moon Rising lyrics. So the two songs was the I see the bad moon arising, I see trouble on the way. Uh-oh. So I feel like very like the two songs that came out had to do with warnings, right? And it's funny because the other reading I did had to do with protection. And there was one song, I'll go put a link because there was that John 3:16. Oh, I want to wake up from this dream. It goes, what do you mean, John 3:16? For God so loved the world, every man packs an M16. And then at the end it goes, I want to wake up from this dream. So I don't know if there was something there in the other reading, right? But I don't want to confuse it with this reading, but I'll put a link on if you haven't watched the other reading. But it was about what you need to know right now. This one's more for the new moon, the energies. I guess it is kind of like what's going on right now, right? But that was what I channeled. Both of them have to do with yeah, that's weird, right? Not to be like I think it's just about being cautious, right? So it's not to scare anybody, right? Because it wouldn't lower my energy anyways, right? Like it wouldn't lower my energy anyway. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the first. See, this isn't even a bad thing. Page of Swords, curious, quick-witted, intelligent, nosy. Oh, stalker. Oh man, watching everything. So, you know, maybe that, right? If there's little gossip going on or something like that, that's funny. The clock says 2:11 right now. I forget. I gotta fit. My clock's been messed up and 211. So clarify stalker. Is this what they need to kind of worry about? Like some crazy stalker person? And intelligent, right? So like I said, maybe it is that. Maybe it's someone, maybe it is someone you that hurt people, right? Maybe it's someone you just need to be careful, right? So this does feel like kind of like, oh wow. Death. 13. Are you dealing with a Scorpio? Ending, transformation, new beginning, pain, hurt. Look at that. What am I talking about? Hurt people. And there's hurt, unexpected change, growth, right? Death. So for you, maybe there's an end to something and it's perfect, right? I love that kind of message for New Year's, right? Going into the new year fresh, letting things that are meant to die, right? And then transforming from that. Death, right? Letting something die. My goal would be for that, even for the hurt people. So, like I said, if this is someone that's hurt that's watching this, you know, you gotta learn to let things go, right? And you can use that energy to do something. Like I thought about it, right? Because this came into my head too. In all the years of YouTube, I remember leaving a bad comment once and I deleted it right after. And all that energy, because when I see people go crazy on the comments and leave all these like you could use that energy to do something positive for yourself, right? But because the energy it takes to be like, and then people get caught up in these conversations of like whatever, like oh this and that. It's just crazy to me, right? Maybe it's not draining to some people, right? Oh, justice. Someone's getting justice for something, right? 11, number 11, justice, right? So regardless, right? If you have all these things going on and there's some stalker person, I feel like something's gonna be just anyways, right? Balance, decision, legal contract, responsibility, agreement, cause and effect, right? And maybe that right. If you're the hurt person, like I said, see, I said that for a reason about let the universe handle it, and that's kind of what the message was in the what you need to know right now. It was about being protected and kind of letting the universe fight your battles in a way, right? And not to say like be a doormat, right? Obviously, don't let nobody walk all over you, but you know, like be decisive, right? Like it's saying decisions, right? Not just from the heavenly realms or the spirit world, but even you, right? If you decide something like that, right? Like if you've already decided to cut ties with somebody, you don't have to be mean, but if you've already made your decision, you've already made your decision. Like just think of it like a judge, right? When a judge bangs that gavel, yeah, sometimes, right? Maybe you can, right? There's always possibilities, right? Anything. You could always be like, but your honor, like, and who knows? They might have a heart and be like, hey, all right, fine. But will that person keep the end of the bargain, right? Like let's say you are open to somebody, and then after, like, it's always a chance, right? But if someone repeatedly shows you who they are, like believe them, right? Believe them and just know when to let go of things, right? But it seems like there's justice, right? So whatever it is in justice, there's justice, right? So we'll say that. Okay, any other message? And then I'll move on to another deck. This feels very like new moonish, right? It's a good way to start this new phase, right? I had never really even heard the term black moon, right? I had heard dark moon, this and that, but it was funny that today when I looked up, oh, it's a new moon, that it actually dark moon. Oh, and you know what? I had the craziest dream last night. I was at this place, it looked really strange. So I don't know if any of you have ever gone. It reminded me of like when you're little. I remember being in kindergarten and I think we went on a field trip and my mom went with you, right? Everybody had their parents with them, or not everybody, but or maybe everybody, I don't remember, right? But you go somewhere and I think like my mom went with me to the zoo, or I don't know where we went like as kids in kindergarten. But anyways, it was like that but I was as an adult, and then there was a woman next to me that was also an adult and everything. but I couldn't see like there were all these chairs and they gave us like those nasty box lunches and I was like, oh man, this is nasty. It was so I was like, oh wow, what was that about? Because that reminded me of those like school field trip kind of things. But then these women passed by riding these horses. At first there were two, and then I think there were more. But the horses had the most beautiful tails. I even told the person next to me, I was like, wow, look at their tails. So there was something in that, right? Like I have to look up again what the horse means right now. I know one of the things is like freedom, but man, they just had the bushiest, like these huge, huge tails, right? Looked very like mystical, like out of this world. I don't know if I have a deck or I have the animal deck. I don't know, right? I wouldn't be surprised if something with a horse comes out, but I don't know. I don't. Oh, okay. Damn, two of swords. They had a right. I should have stopped where. Wow, there's two Libras, so I don't know. Are you dealing with a Libra, right? Libra, Scorpio. What's the page of swords? Oh, I don't know. No swords is air, right? I don't know what the page of swords is, but that's air regardless. So air signs. Oh, yeah, and here's more air signs. So indecision, strategizing, choice, yes or no, options, confusion. So I don't know if someone from your past came back and you're up in your head, maybe just that, right? Be cautious, right? Like if it's someone that you feel hasn't healed from stuff, right? Just be careful because I'm telling you, like yeah, it doesn't surprise me, right, that they would start like that they would start communicate because I've written so many songs with stories, right? Even when I thought of that, I thought of this story. Once I met this woman. I just met up with her. I heard her story, and then it even made it into one of my songs. It was like, wow, I think I was just meant to meet this person for the song, right? Like that's amazing. Like I just met her, and she had a very like kind of horrible story, right? Things she had been through, but I think the lesson in that was that she overcame that, right? She was living on the streets since she was like 10 years old. All this stuff happened, right? And that she ended up becoming like a teacher, like young, right? Really young. Boom, got her life together after being homeless at 10 years old. It was like, what the hell? It was just crazy. And I think I was just meant to hear that story so I could write, like, make it into, teach that lesson, right? That really, yeah, like, I mean, if a 10-year-old made it on the streets, and who can't find a way, right? Who can't find a way to overcome things, right? So yeah, I'll put a link to all of the songs. Hurt people, and maybe even that one, just because I mentioned it for some reason. Because it has stories. Oh, it kind of has a similar story. There was a story I had read about that was a true story as well that made it into that song, and it's about hurt people, hurt people. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so it did come up for a reason. So I'll put a link to those songs and the Dark Moon Rising. I think everybody knows, but oh, I'll put a link to it too. Wow. The Knight of Wands, right? And I've heard someone describe that as like someone kind of rushing in, and if you look at like the bar thing, they're like, well, look at the wand. It's kind of like, has things in this and that. So it was like, it could be reversed, right? Like a woman just rushing in, kind of like for a good time, not a long time, right? So I feel like that's confirmation with that, right? And then this came out, so they might end up having you like this, right? The Eight of Swords. Damn. So I feel like there's a lot of just be cautious, right? Okay. I wasn't gonna because this one came out too. I wasn't gonna show it, but damn, there's definitely right. A very like I got what I wanted kind of Seven of Swords, right? I mean, since they both came out like seven and eight, I was like, I didn't want to bring it out because I was like, man, I know I shuffled. I literally just shuffled, and I had shuffled it before too. So I was like, it feels too like maybe I didn't shuffle right. But hey, when I was gonna leave it, I felt like a gut feeling like no, go ahead and show it, right? So it feels very that, right? Like someone, and I know I'm reading these intuitively right now, just because of the story, the way it's playing out. So, if I didn't say it exactly how traditionally people read these cards from the Rider Waite, I'm telling you right now, I'm just reading it how I'm kind of getting the message. But this one feels very like someone that had an agenda, right? And they just did what they needed to do. Yeah, it gave me like a chills, right? Like, oh, so just be careful if anyone, hurt people, right? Like, there's no need for that, right? Especially when you hurt someone that didn't isn't even the person that hurt you to begin with, right? Like, it's crazy, right? But it's like someone that just wants to like, hey, traumas, right? People gotta heal. All right, so enough of that. I want to lighten the mood because I don't know, but maybe yeah, maybe I'll title this one too, like what you need to know right now. That's so crazy, right? But I get it, right? Someone wants to protect you, so it's all good. Messages come out how they come out. It's a beautiful thing though, if you really think. Whoa, I'll flip. Wow, spirit talker communication 33. So maybe you are tapped in and listen, right? If you're getting warnings, red flags, this and that, it's funny because I saw the 33 on Christmas Day, right? Was it? Yeah, yeah. I went for a hike on Christmas Day, and there was like, they weren't even scattered. They were like, first I ran into a group of three deer, and then I ran into a group of three coyotes, right? Like little pup coyotes, right? They looked adorable. They were playing, and so I was like, oh wow, three and three, and I was like, and they say like Jesus was killed at 33 years of age, right? So I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting on Christmas Day, right? But they also say it's a number of like people that are ascended, right? Ascended masters and this and that. But spirit talker, right? So listen to the signs, right? If someone's, look at the little thing, maybe they're coming to you in orbs or things like that, right? Listen. I know I say all these side stories, but yesterday I was in this yoga class and it was so packed that I volunteered to go into this they had like the storage room, but you could still, it's space. I was like, yeah, it's like my own private VIP room. I'll go in there, right? So I volunteered to go in there. And when I was in there, I was hearing sounds, right? And I told the lady after, and I was like, man, it was crazy in there. I was hearing stuff moving around. When I had my eyes closed, it really felt like someone was in there like doing yoga with me. It was crazy. And then they were like, oh, in the old place, they had been in an old building before, and people said there used to be like ghosts in there, right? Not like calling them ghosts, but spirits, right? And she's like, oh, I guess they followed, like, but I never been to the old place, but she was like, oh, they came. And I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I believe it. It was crazy. So, whatever, spirit communicate, right? Maybe you're tapped in. Just listen, right? They're there. Stability. Maybe it's just that, be in a very zen place, right? Like, don't worry about nothing. Let things fall. See how this one's for the fall, right? I don't know if 23 means something to you, but because the death card came out earlier too, right? So when things fall, just let them fall, right? Let things take their natural course, right? Because that, right? Are you gonna be able to stop a tree from throwing all its leaves out? Like imagine trying to like, no, 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 wait, trying to stop the natural progression of things, right? Things fall. Like that's what it is, you know. Trees shed the old leaves and they grow new ones, right? So the same, right? Be at peace with that. See, like the egret, right? I believe that's an egret. And they're very balanced, right? So stability, balanced, right? All right, so let me see. What else? What else? I don't know. Maybe I could do one of these and then I could do a I like doing the what do you call it? The like people like the ancestors that have passed on and this and that. Probably do one of those and then that's it. After this one, right? This is the astrology. Just because today it is like the black moon, maybe this is called what is it? The numinous astro deck. Oof. Okay. Ah, wow. See, I was talking about Libra. What were there? Two cards with Libra, right? Justice and decision. Look at the idealist. Harmonious, cooperative, balanced, socially aware, artistic, people pleasing, fair, idealistic, aesthetic, choosy, aspirational, geometric, graceful, considerate, obliging, indecisive, judgmental, flattering, right? So maybe you're dealing with a Libra or you are a Libra, right? That's interesting. It's interesting because it looks like they got a halo and a wing. I don't know. Ah, man, I almost feel like I gotta go back to the other deck and clarify Libra, right? What's up with this? All right, I'll just do that real quick then. What's up with Libra? I'm being nosy over here. Like, what's up with the Libra thing? What do you want them to know about this Libra, or if this person or whoever I'm connecting with, if they're a Libra, what's up with this Libra situation? Is it something they really need to be cautious about, or I mean, they said justice. So is there something else I need to know about Libra? Oh, Three of Swords, heartbreak, sadness, betrayal, stabbed in the back, third party situation, grim ending. Damn. So did the Libra go through that then? I don't know. I don't know if it's a hurt person that's looking to hurt someone else. Stabbed in the back. That came up in the reading of the last reading I did, right when I started it. I felt something and I was like, oh wow, someone like that feels stabbed in the back or something, right? So I don't know. This is crazy, right? So I don't know if someone feels stabbed in the back and they're out for revenge or if that's you. So again, I'll just say what I said about, if this is you that got stabbed in the that feels like a hurt person that wants to hurt people, then just transmute that energy, right? Do something, write a book, right? Imagine that, write a book about, things you've dealt with and this and that, or I don't know, something, right? But try to channel that energy in a good way. Don't stack up karma for yourself, right? Um, I interviewed there's this interview I did with Yandea. Well, you know, I even did a video on her page, right? But she, she had an ND, right? She I guess when she was on the other side, she was shown that thing about that when she transitioned over, it was like she thought she was all great, and then she was stuck because of some kind of thing that she hadn't I forgot if she hadn't forgiven herself or forgiven someone else or something, but it was like that. So don't stack up things that because it won't, even if it's not in this life, at some point you gotta face that, right? So let me see. Any message from any ancestor? Any message from any ancestor? It feels very like stiff right now. Like there's really no. I think all the messages that did come out came out. But let me see if there's any message from any ancestor, anybody in the spirit world wants to talk to either this hurt person or any other warning. Let me see. Oop, kind of fell out. Wait, so I'm all shaking everything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the ancestor. Oof, La Cruz, right? Interesting. I know this has came out 11 again, right? Justice was the 11 card, so there's something there with the 11. Let me see. I'll just read it then. I'll read it and then I think we'll end it there. Number 11, Cruz. Resurrect your true purpose for living. Wow. See? So if you're the hurt person, like don't be so caught up on revenge that you forget that you have a purpose, right? Or, if you're not that person, then, whatever. I don't know my glasses. Ah, who cares? Let me just read this. Resurrect your true purpose for living. Let your faith be bigger than your fear, right? So you even that, don't be worried about, oh, someone's out to get me and this and that, right? It I feel like you're gonna be protected. There'll be justice regarded. Just be careful, right? If there is a word of caution, right? Like if someone pops up and this and that, even if it's someone new, it could be someone from your past. Because I didn't really see like the past thing, just someone that's out hurt people, right? So if it's not a past person, even if it's a new person, just be like, hey, before you become intimate, I mean, you could use protection, but even that, right? Like, who was, I think in another country, they just showed how there was a guy. Oh yeah, it was like a guy that had been a double for Brad Pitt or something. I don't know if he was from Ireland or what, but I guess they actually got him with a rape charge for when he was gonna have sex. I guess he would pull out the condom without consent, right? Like that. A few people, and one of them even told him specifically, "Oh yeah, I don't want to do anything without a condom." Oh yeah, yeah, no problem. And then I guess he would pull it off right before they had sex, which I don't know, and then they charge them with that, right? So I don't know what the point of was that. I shared it for a reason. Oh yeah, just be careful, right? That's why it's better to just, if you need to get tested and all that stuff, because there's so many things that could happen with, oh, we'll just use protection, and there's still things that could happen. I don't know why I'm sharing all that, but maybe it is that, right? Like who knows? These are crazy messages sometimes. Cruz, resurrect your true purpose for living. I would even say, let me know in the comments if this resonated, but you don't have to. If this is maybe it already happened, you don't have to put all your business out there. So don't worry about having to share all that. My beloved, when this you see, remember me. You've chosen this card because you stand at a crossroads in your life, and I hope you'll allow me to help you. Wow, see, so someone's helping. I've crossed your mind for a reason now, so you can see yourself the way I see you, perfect and radiantly magnificent. You were born to connect the conscious to the subconscious, the ordinary to the extraordinary, and the finite to the infinite. In this exquisite art form called humanity, imagine activating the Christ presence within your sacred heart and imbuing your experience in this world with love. Excuse me. I was reading without breathing and I was starting to get. So maybe that's a thing, right? Maybe you need to practice on breath work. Don't forget to breathe, right? Um, yeah, so that was weird. Because I was like, whoa, I'm getting lightheaded. I'm not even like breathing. Instead of relating to life from a martyred perspective because of your grief, allow me to help you awaken to an inspired life in which you develop the ability to see past the illusion of fear and separation to the glory bursting at the seams. In other words, imagine if you could be guided by the compass within your heart. When I cross your mind, honor me by making choices according to the loving way I see you. Through this practice, one day you will awaken to realize you are in this world, yet are not of it, living in the sweet spot where heaven and earth embrace. Oh, that's beautiful. See? So someone's looking out for you, and so if you're the hurt person, they don't want you to stay in that, right? I outstretch mantra. I outstretch my arms to embrace all of life, the material, the ethereal, and the radiant splendor that lies between, right? So that's a little mantra for you to say if if you need to be reminded of that, right? So I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, at the beginning, when I started this, I was smelling sage. So if you need to clear off your energy, right? Whatever you use, Palo Santo, sage, maybe take a spiritual bath. Yeah, I was smelling sage strongly, like fresh sage. Maybe you just need to smack yourself. Like, some places don't even burn. If you're thinking like, oh, I'm allergic to the smoke and all that. Well, maybe that, right? Like just get some fresh sage and you know I've been to ceremonies where they don't burn and they're just smacking, like the sage, right? So, see, my nose is so I don't even know how what do you call it? I was smelling it so strongly, right? So that's something right there because my nose felt stuffed right now. So, but yeah, maybe just do a cleansing, and obviously it's a new moon, so it's perfect for the new moon and everything. I'll put a link to the songs that I mentioned, right? The Hurt People, Dark Moon Rising, and the that other old song that I had done. I don't even remember the name right now, but I'll put a link to it too because it kind of talks about one of the stories is about something that I mentioned. So on that note, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Right? Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. We'll see. All right, peace.